How to build a high-performance team culture that scales your business without you. Some of you heard me talk about this, so we're going to go through this. Here's the big thing. You have to have fundamentals in place. I see it all the time. Everybody hops up. They got it about 80% right, even the good ones. Most of the good ones have it about 80% right. I deal with private equity guys. I've worked with their teams. I've coached their teams. I've done it. And the thing is, there's a 20% missing it, and I'm going to spell it out for you. So the thing I would tell some of you that have heard this, seen this, or done it before, I would really pay close attention, and I would find out where's the 20% that you're not doing, right? Because that's where the opportunity lies for you. Keep in mind, this is what's worked for me. These are just me giving free value to the world, trying to help people do what I do, building a brand. So if you like it and it adds value to you, love it, take it, build with it. So how to build a high-performance team culture that scales your businesses without you. That's how I do it. This is what I've done. That's why I have the ability to be here with you guys today. So the cadence of meetings, we talk about this. Set regular meeting rhythm. Most people that are in business, I don't care if your team size is 3 or if your team size is 300. You know, I had somebody I was talking to, a family business I was talking to. Hey guys, how you doing? My name's Joey Batista. I'm an active 9-figure entrepreneur. Listen, inside this video, I'm going to share with you the tips and tricks, the real life examples that I use growing and scaling companies today. Listen, I'm not an influencer. I'm an entrepreneur with a passion for sharing what I've learned over the last 3 decades. And it's a privilege for me to share it with you here today. Over the past couple weeks, and they really and truly, they couldn't get it together because as a family, they just couldn't sit down and discuss their business. They were online looking for AI options. They were looking for all kinds of things that would make them be unaccountable to the fact that as a family, they couldn't sit down, and as business people, they couldn't sit down and have an intelligent conversation over numbers because they hadn't put anything together. They hadn't done the work. So some of you that know, that have worked with me, you know that's really a big deal. If you're going to be in business, let's think about it. Everybody has you should have one big goal in business. You should have one big goal of wanting to make more money, build net worth, you know, have a better life, help people, and all that's great, and that's what you do that as well. But your first thing is very primitive, right? You need money to survive. You need money to be in business. So it should be very comfortable talking about money. But oddly enough, most of us, even myself included, you start out in business and you're only good at your craft. Well, if you're going to be last in business, or if you're ultimately going to scale at any really high level, you know, if you're going to build anything that's actually worth building, you're going to have to get really comfortable talking about your numbers. You got to have a rhythm to it. Monthly, quarterly, you know, daily huddles. You know, I see it right now, even in my own companies. I go in there and managers get lazy. Most of us can't add any value to our business, somebody else's business, to the team without, you know, shoulder-to-shoulder interaction. That's what leadership is. That's what's actually building a company. It's not sending out an email or a Slack or a Teams. You know, these are great little reminders, and, you know, somebody misses it or they didn't capture everything, they can go back for a reference point. But when you're trying to get the turn and having a high-performance team, you use these meetings as a way to get your leaders to walk around, management by walking around, the Toyota way. Go where you have to go to the people. You know, think of General Electric. You know, Jack Welch or whatever it was, one of the greatest CEOs that ever lived. Management by walking around. He spent time with the people. You know, it's ironic that especially when you get into the world of automation and everything that's going on, people forget the magic sauce that happens with the people. And I'll tell you why they do. The reason why a lot of people forget this, if you're taking advice from people and they're not charismatic, and you don't have to be charismatic. You can be a data monster and just get up and run it there, but ultimately talk to your team and communicate and have a the ultimate communication channel. Remember, these are techniques that drive productivity, okay? They're massive lifts in business. It's the differentiator. It's how you can go from, you know, $100,000 in income to $1 million, from $1 million to $10 million. One's you doing it and getting it done. Then the next level is while you're doing it based on where you're at and you're establishing this framework, now it's just ready for somebody else to cross-train, to step right into it. So you're teaching good decision makers in there. So I really want you to go ahead in here. A lot of you have heard me say this, but here's the thing. If you know to do it and you're not doing it, this is opportunity for you. Everybody knows the answers. Everybody knows them. But the reality is they lack the drive, the commitment, the wherewithal, the tenacity. So if you're stuck in your business or you're stuck in your position or you're stuck in your career and you're not doing this, go do it for a year and watch what happens. Watch what happens to the people around you, you know, because your team's watching you. Your team's watching you. If you're not growing and developing as a leader and you're in there and you're talking about anything, they know you're a fraud, a fake, or a poser. So you have to walk the walk. It's not just enough to talk it, right? You have to walk it. So this has been very instrumental for me. One of the great days. For 30 years, I've always turned out meetings. I just got better at doing them. But meetings have always been one of the ways that I've split the competition right in half because they just were too lazy to do it, and or they really, where it comes from, and I don't want to be mean, really where it comes from is they have anxiety, like they don't want to communicate with people. They have social anxiety. Some way standing up in front of people and talking to them makes them uneasy. And that ultimately cascades down into the organization and or cascades into how are you going to scale the company and do it. So this is a very easy thing. It takes $0 to do it. It's just drive and ambition. Here we go. So frameworks and systems. You know, we'll go ahead in here and we'll talk about this. And this, you know, a standard operating system, right? That's us, obviously, the Catalyst operating system. That's what I do. That's what I build out for people. And you have to implement SOPs, consistency, and clarity, right? When you go ahead and you bring it together, people go in and they see all these things like, here you go, I have this, I have that. But the reality is it's not executed upon. So if you want to have a high-performance team, remember something. This is the easiest thing that I've seen and or learned. Teams scale up really fast when everything's clearly communicated. Like you can have all the SOPs in the world, but if somebody's not there providing leadership and going in and actually working with the people, it's just going to fall to the wayside. So I want you guys to really think about that and what can you do better with your team? How can you go in there and really systemize it and look at it? You know, I'll give you an example of a system. Let me give you an example real quick. I was at, you know, I go to my barber, they have that, they have a salon. So I go in, I get my, you know, get my ears waxed, my eyes, brows done, manicure, pedicure, you name it, right? I get everything done. So I was in there with them and they do a really good job. Like this guy has a really good barbershop. And I have the conversation. Keep in mind, he has me for a client. So we're always having the conversation. But he goes in, he's like, well, you know, he was talking about the girl. He's like, well, you know, it's slow. And she was kind of saying it was slow and she wasn't making money. And I'm like, listen, you have all these customers coming through here. You know, you have 60, 70, 80 customers a day. I was like, all you have to do is establish, and her English is a little bit choppy, right? I said, all you have to do is, and she needs to learn English anyway, so part of her growth and development path is personally, she needs to learn English anyway, so that's a big deal, right? So I go in there and I say, let's go ahead in there, guys. Let's go ahead in there and see exactly what it is. Just go ask them 10 times in a row. Like just give her a menu, like ordering Chinese food, and go in and say, hey, which service do you want? You know, go in there and do it. So that's a really big deal. Go in there, get it done. And that's one of the big things. Like knowing it and not doing it doesn't really count. So it doesn't matter what you're doing. If it's personally how you're operating, or if you're doing it virtually, or if you have them there, establish a process that allows you to ask for the money. That's what most people don't have. They just assume they take what they get, and then they're happy with it, and they don't keep going. Hey guys, if you found value in this video, share it with somebody in need. Listen, these videos are a series all brought together that can teach you the real life example. So if you liked it, follow the other video. I like to go into this. We talk about track KPIs. You guys hear me talk about this all the time. This is the biggest challenge with the team. It's KPIs and metrics. So today I went in and we had a transfer. We went in and we have some new team. We made some management shifts. So what I did is I went in there to make my point. This morning at like 5 o'clock in the morning, I pre-sent my text out. I want to give you guys a hack you can do. So yesterday I had a meeting with them and I said, listen, you guys you're all new managers. You got this going on. You need to go in and establish, you know, your schedule, your routine. And the existing managers, I was like, we're setting a new standard. We're moving to a new level. What was acceptable when you walked in here today changed. We're looking to double outputs. And they're like, double? And I'm like, yes. And the reason why I knew they could double outputs, and when I say outputs, I'm talking about on the metrics, on the activities that can drive outcomes. You know, I didn't go in and ask for, 10% year over year, 20% quarter over, whatever the case may be. I said, we're looking to double. And they're like, well, why can you double? I'm like, because if you're going to go ahead and operate in the top 10%, and that's where we're operating, you want to operate in the top 10%, you can expect the double. So, going in there, I preset up the text to go out there and to actually remind them one time at 9:15, one time at 12 noon, and then another time at 5 p.m. So here's the thing. This is when I don't get involved in these things often in companies when I'm involved, but this is how I run the formula, and I want you to understand this. And if you want to go ahead and become extremely successful, when I say extremely successful, what I'm saying is if you want to make millions of dollars and you want to do it from a position to where you already don't have it, there's only one way to get there. You got to elbow grease it out. Like you have to literally operate and function at a level that other humans don't operate at. Otherwise, you're never going to achieve it. So that's really and truly, that's what I teach. I teach people that have hunger and skills and ambition, maybe a little bit of money or a little bit of success. I help and coach them to get them over the top, right? And the way that I do it is I show them that they can do more. And the way that I show them that they can do more is I use it by using KPIs and then metrics. The KPIs are the big volume numbers. The metrics are the activities that drive outcomes. So those 3 texts that I sent them, that was my follow-up because I had a meeting and a meeting alone wasn't enough. I re-communicated, going back to the first thing we were talking about, having the communication. I re-communicated it so they're like, damn, he's serious. Well, what I told them was this, is it's very simple for me. We're talking about, keep in mind, the title of this when we came in here is how to build a high-performance team. So this is how you build a high-performance team. You have high standards. So I told them it's really simple. I'm going to come in and I'm going to talk to you guys and I'm going to look at it and I'm going to look at the activities that drive outcomes. And when I coach you and you're reminded, and between me, the COO, everybody else involved, I'm like, when I look at those metrics, and I'm telling the COO, I'm like, listen, I'm going to look at the metrics. It's really simple. When I look at them, we had a meeting on Monday. Come Thursday, 5 o'clock, if we're not hitting the metrics, the activities that drive outcomes, I'm going to have you go ahead and load the floodgates and start recruiting because come Monday, we're firing somebody. That's how we're doing it. Because the reality is I got to run that cycle a couple times, but then what will happen is I'll have a team that plays ball, and I know a lot of people think that sounds really intense, and I want to tell you something. I want to share something with you guys if you think that's intense. I want to share something with you. I've been building teams for 30 years. Politically, the world's changed massively in the process. I've tried to recreate my leadership style several times in 30 years. I've never been able to be of service to my family or my team ever if I wasn't able to go in and operate at that level. The whole consensus leadership, everything. Now I'm getting buy-in because at the end of the day, when they achieve these things and I send them home to their husbands or their wives and they have the paychecks, and not only the paychecks, it's not all about the money, but when they have the self-esteem that they've hit these things, now all of a sudden, guess what happens? They've done more with Joey Batista than they've ever done in their life before. Do you think they like me? Do you think they like my way of doing business? Absolutely they do. The people that are A players that want to win at a high level, and we repel the other people that don't. We had one of the guys, we came in and I had the meeting. I was really, because we're at a pivotal point trying to go in here. And I keep in mind, it's been 5 years since I've operated at this level. Myself personally having these conversations. But we're going in and we have brought in some more executives and I want to let them know the standards. So very transparently, when we brought in new managers, I was like, listen, there's going to be certain activities that we're going to focus on week to week. And if you can't do those activities, see, to me, it doesn't matter how well they do them at first. What matters is are they coachable? So if you're coming in as an executive or somebody that says that you want an extreme amount of success in your life and your current plan isn't getting it for you, then you being coachable kind of matters, right? That makes sense. You have to be coachable. If you're not coachable, you already have basically what I call a failed plan, or a plan that was good enough to get you here, but not good enough to get you there. So I really want you to think about that when you're working with your teams or whatever the case may be. Keep in mind, if you're looking to build something to sell it, if you're looking to build something that's going to make money in your absence, if you don't have really high standards when you're there and people don't buy into that, you're not going to have the type of people that get things done in your absence. If you have consensus leadership, poor communication, poor clarity, and have no standards on the outcomes that you desire, you'll go ahead, you'll blame the market, you'll blame the industry that you're in, you'll blame every single thing, but what you won't do, the good news in all this is, the great news is you can go ahead and you can massively change that. So that's the thing. This worked for me. That's what I want to share with you guys. There's no doubt it's no doubt an answer. Let's keep going. So I want to make sure that we get time for the last part and some Q&A. So ownership and accountability. Who's going to own it? I always look for something. Somebody comes in, I look for a champion. Who's going to champion this project? Who's going to champion it? That's always the thing that I do. Who's going to champion it? Who's going to champion the process? Whatever initiative it is. I always need someone to champion it. It goes back to that thing I'm sure a lot of you heard. If two people are accountable, nobody's accountable. So I need one person for every new initiative to go ahead and do it. And if you do that, what happens at the end of this cycle, what you have is you have a group of amazing leaders that have achieved things in their life that not only individually but together as a team. Remember this. This is very simple. I want you to go look at your teams and see all the great people that you work with. The reality is them just like you, like me, we're just average people. You know, I'm just an average guy. I come from the Midwest, come from a factory town, and you know, it's just what it is. I'm just a regular dude. You know, at the end of the day, this is what it takes. Great leadership with great processes and systems, with training, with accountability. If you have those four, you got it. If you have horrible leadership and the other three, it won't work. You got to have all four. Now, if you have all four, that's how you make a great team. It's a collection of average people with great leadership, great processes and systems, great training and accountability. So I hope that piece of it adds some value to you guys. Hey guys, if you found value in the video today and you'd like to see more of them, like, subscribe, or share now.